Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 9, verse 3. And here he starts to talk about bhakti, but he uses the word ashraddha. Shraddha means faith. So people, ashraddha means without faith. Is added to negate. So without faith, people who are faithless come back to earth. So let's sing the verse together and we'll go into it. अश्रद्धानः पुरुषा धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसारवर्त्मनि. Okay, so this means those who are not faithful in this devotional service, Prabhupada has added, but those who are faithless basically cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies, Arjun. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. So, ashraddha, those who are faithless, such persons towards the process of religion, faithless towards religion, towards dharma. Dharma means the right thing to do. He's translating it as religion, but dharma means like what is your dharma, what is the right thing to do, which is religion in this case. They do not obtain me, Mam, and they come back in this material existence of death. Mrityu means death. So in this material existence of birth and death, they come back on this, Vartamani, on the path. Okay, so faith is the important thing here that he's talking about. Faith, Shraddha, faith. So people, he's saying that after hearing Vedic evidence of Vedic literature, they still have no faith. That I mean, even I didn't used to, I was very hardcore atheist. And just because somebody wrote something in the Vedas, who knows if the Vedas are correct and if it's not been modified by people over time and if it's actually been written by God. It's just, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that is not the reason to have faith. For me, the reason to have faith was that intrinsic pull. It was the path of gratitude. What brought me from staunch atheism to where I am right now is the path of gratitude. It's a perspective shift. It's when I started to see that the world is not actually a bad place. Although now I'm seeing that the world is a place of misery and I want to get out of it. But it was the gratitude. It's contradictory, right? I know I'm feeling contradictory. I'm being contradictory right now. But it was the path of gratitude. It was starting to see the good in my life that made me realize that it cannot be coincidental. All of this good that has happened in my life cannot be coincidental. I started to see the threads in my life. If this wasn't there, then this wouldn't have happened, then this wouldn't have happened, then this wouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't have been here. And I'm happy that I'm here right now. Same thing with this next thread. Same thing with this next thread. Like many different threads I started seeing in my life, and it just felt so right, because right now where I am is so good. And even when I was in the personal growth world, I felt so good where I was there because I was growing and I was feeling actually happy because I was actually growing, growing through my pain, learning through the pain. So I started to feel gratitude for the pain because it brought that growth in me and it made me a better person. And now it's brought me to Krishna. So it was that gratitude. It was not just the fact that some person wrote some Vedas that I started to believe in God. No, it was a felt experience. So yes, I mean, there is, Swami Sarvapriyananda is going to talk about that, how you have to have faith before you feel that experience. But there also has to be something that draws you in. You cannot force yourself to go in. There has to be something, right? And that is God's grace. That is God's mercy. I was just extremely lucky. Wow, that he pulled me in. He found a way. He just kept whispering, no, this is not enough. Ask for more from life. Ask for more. This cannot be it. Ask for more. There has to be more, but you have to have that pull. You have to feel that pull yourself. Nobody can force you into it. I can't force my friends into it. As much as I would love for them to start to experience this joy, I can't force them into it. They have to feel the pull. I can just show them by example. I can show them how I feel when I'm feeling bad. I go to the temple and I feel better, or when I feel bad, I start chanting and I feel better. Or when I'm doing kirtan, they can themselves start to feel after a while that yes, it's actually helping them feel better when they're listening to the kirtan along with me, or when they're I can show by example, but I can't force you. Nobody can force anybody. So and the more purified one is, the more people they'll be able to pull in. So yeah, so the Bhagavatam, this one is a very famous verse. It's been quoted so many times. 4:31:14, that by giving water to the root of a tree, one satisfies its branches, twigs, and leaves. Supplying food to the stomach, one satisfies all senses. Um, and therefore, by engaging in transcendental service, devotional service of Krishna, Bhagwan Shri Krishna, that automatically satisfies all the demigods and all other living entities. So everything that's written in the Vedas, all of that is satisfied through this process. Okay, so now he talks about three classes of people who have faith. The first class citizens, is those who have faith as well as scriptural knowledge. The second, they are first class and they are never going to fall down. Second class is those who have faith but no scriptural knowledge or little scriptural knowledge. They are in the thing and they may fall down. They'll either go up or fall down. Third class is those who have neither faith nor scriptural knowledge. So these people are much more likely to follow. They're trying to follow. So these are beginner people. They're trying to follow, they're trying to figure out what this is. And I have some friends who are in this process. They're trying to figure out, and that's okay. I mean, he's calling them third class citizens, and it sounds so bad. I don't understand this whole judgmental tone of everything, but it's written apparently in the Bhagavatam as well, in the 11th canto, the first class, second class, third class attachment in the 11th canto. Yeah, somehow I'm like, why do you have to be so? Anyways, but yeah, people who are beginners are in this place, and they will eventually, if they associate with people who are actually knowledgeable, then they will slowly and surely they'll start to build their faith in this process. Okay, Swami Mukundanand says. Faith, he talks about faith a lot because this is what it is, people without faith. So he's very kindly talking about how people can get faith, and he's saying, with walk by faith not by sight, Bible says that. So he's saying, basically, there is so many things. Like, faith has to come first, right? Because otherwise, how will you go down this path? How will you figure out? The scientists do that as well. They have faith that this is going to work, and then they follow. They have a hypothesis, and then they work on it, and then they prove it or disprove it or whatever. But you have to start with faith. You have to start with someone. Somebody had to have faith that the people can fly in planes, right? Somebody had to have faith that electricity is going to be there. They couldn't see it, but they had faith that it'll work. They had no evidence at all, but they just kept trying and trying and trying because they had faith. So that's what this is. I mean, you have to have faith. And you know milk, you can see, let's say the example he gives here is, let's say you can see a cow being milked, but you know that there is butter there. Why do you know that there's butter? Because there's a process. You know that if you churn the milk and whatever the process is, butter will come out because you've seen it or you've heard it or whatever. But you have to follow that process to get the butter. You don't just, you can't see, if something new comes in, they can't see the butter in that milk, but the butter is in that milk. Just because they can't see it doesn't mean that it's not there, right? So you have to walk that path for a while before you can start to actually experience it. That's the word they used in the previous word, pravatishtan or something. I'm forgetting what the word was, but so for belief in God, we have to exercise our free will and actually have a decision to have faith in God, and then we will be able to do it. Okay, so that's it for this verse. We'll do chapter 9 verse 4 in the next video. Wish you a day filled with spiritual growth. Radhe Radhe.